Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. And today I'm doing a review on Tom Clancy's The Division 2. Not the Division 1, the Division 2. So this game is really fun. I have already played it, start to finish, and this game is a looter shooter where you, the agent of the Division, um, are first fighting a group of people with another fellow agent, a companion, and you two get separated because there's an incoming call from Washington D.C. Then you go to Washington D.C. and there's an attack on the White House. So you kill the people at the White House and you help them, and they give you a bunch of stuff to start the game. So this game is a looter shooter. It is open world, and basically, I want to talk about the story for now. So the story, uh, the Division 2 doesn't focus really much on the story, but more on the gameplay. But the story is enough to where you are able to know the characters and what their motives are. Most it, when playing for the Division, when you're on the Division, you're fighting to bring everything back to normal, to stop the fighting, and you're also killing the people who are killing other people. So there's that. But now heading into the gameplay. The gameplay is actually very smooth. They just did a recent update for next gen consoles. Um, since I have a 4K monitor, I can now play at 4K 60 FPS, which makes the game like really smooth for me. So I really do enjoy that. But other than that, the gameplay is amazing. So at first, it might not seem like the way as other games, like other games, but it's like basically you go into cover. You can also transfer into cover by holding down X for my controller, holding down other buttons. Um, the sh- the shooting in this game is pretty smooth. I do like it. Um, there's different types of guns. You have the assault rifle, you have the carbine 7, you have the SMG, you have the rifle, you have the um the snipers, you have the shotguns, all your typical weapons. Um, but the gameplay, it is pretty smooth. I'm pretty sure there's bugs and glitches, but I have yet to experience a lot of that. I did experience it before, but that was only because of my Wi-Fi. So yeah, they will be doing more updates on the game, but for now, the it's like this. So now moving on into the guns. So there is different types of guns. You have your regular green ones, which are like your basic ones, and your blue ones. You got the rare ones, and then you have the purple ones, which are like very rare. Then you have the legendary ones, which of course are legendary. And then you have your exotic ones. These exotic ones are pretty good, depending on what you do with them. So you can make different types of builds in this game. Builds are basically where you combine a bunch of different pieces. Um, whether it's guns, um, holsters, gloves, vests, or and even a backpack. So all these types of things have different mechanics, and if you combine them the right way, you can make something called a build. That means each part moves fluently. So as you see in my gameplay, um as I'm killing people, um my so the talent for my gun, which is the ability my gun has, if I kill someone, I get to move quicker. And then, but I also have my backpack. With my backpack, if I kill someone, they'll drop this item, and then if I run through it, through the item, I get a buff. I get stronger, and I get bonus armor. Bonus armor is where you get more armor, but it's only staying there for a temporary time. Um, Now moving on into the soundtrack. The soundtrack for this game is pretty good because like let's say if I'm in the White House in my safe zone, they'll just play a subtle soundtrack. But if I go in combat, they're gonna play like drums, they they they're gonna make a very suspenseful, that suspenseful feeling, just like they do in Ghost Runner. I don't know if you guys seen that, but I just released part two. Time stop. All right. Um, Now moving on into online co-op. Online co-op co-op in this game is super fun. I do recommend it because I feel like if you start playing this game alone, you're not gonna really like have a good feel for it. That's how I was in the Division 1. I had gotten the Division 1 and I had no one to play with. So yeah, I just suggest you play with friends. But co-op in this game is really good. It's not laggy unless the player is laggy. Like let's say if you have really good Wi-Fi and you see someone lagging, it's their Wi-Fi. It's not yours. Um, at times you do get disconnected in this game, but that's maybe that it'd probably be an overload. Like maybe too much stuff is happening and you just get and the game just crashes. But it's really fun. There's also this thing called Conflict. It's basically like the team deathmatch of Call of Duty. Um, so there's different ones. There's domination. There's team deathmatch, of course, and then you could also like capture the points. But other than that, the co-op is pretty good. Now moving on into the talents. The talents are basically abilities that you can equip or automatically come equipped with each gun. Um, the talent that I'm using on my gun is called I think Death Breed. So basically, if I kill someone, I run faster, and um each gun has a different talent. Or if you like the more you get into the game, um you can equip your own talents by going to something called a recalibration station, which allows you to upgrade your weapons and change your talents. So it's basically like you just get to upgrade stuff. And then you have your vendor, which is your item shop for those Fortnite players. The vendor can sell a bunch of different things. It could sell mods. It could sell mods. I'll be getting into shortly. It could sell guns. It could sell gear pieces, which are vests, backpacks, all of that stuff. And now getting into mods. Mods are things you can equip to your vests or to your guns. Mods basically improve your guns. So I have a mod on my vest. It gives me 12% critical hit damage, meaning if if I have let's say if I have a 60% critical hit chance, and if I hit a critical hit, that critical hit will be amplified by 12%. So I'll do 12% more damage on my critical hit. Um, Now getting on to stats. Stats you can so the stats in this game are pretty fair because um there's a bunch of different ones, obviously, for different gear pieces for different components. But yeah. So now getting on into the gear pieces specifically. There's three types of gear pieces in this game. You have the one with the skill tier, which you can use for your skills, and then you have your defense, which, let's say if all your gear pieces are defense, you basically become a tank. It's really hard for the enemy to kill you, but again, you're not doing total like great damage. And now you have your damage. Then now you have your damage, right? And basically you hit really hard. Like you can kill people without even trying, as you can see in the gameplay right now. But it does make you like what's the word for it? Like you become vulnerable a lot. That's why if you have a good build, you don't like you are still vulnerable, but you're also healing at the same time. Um now for the skill tier, it's basically where that if you let's say if you have 6 skill tier, your your um your skills, which are your drones, your turrets, all of that stuff, is basically amplified by, like, so let's say if I'm on skill tier 6, my the damage for my drone gets amplified by like 60%, as if it were for if it for one skill tier, my drone will probably be amplified by like 5%. So it's really big differences with the skill tier. And now moving on to graphics. The graphics in this game are they're great. They're great. Before the update where it gave you 4K 60 FPS, the graphics weren't that great. But now they look amazing. You could also adjust the sharpness, the contrast, however you like, which is great because every player has, of course, a different way of playing. So now for like the smoothness, the FPS, the hertz. I play at 60 hertz because this game could also be played at 60 FPS, and it feels smooth. I know you guys have like maybe 240 hertz monitors out there, 144 hertz, but 60 hertz on this game actually feels pretty good. And I've played on the 240 hertz monitor before, so trust me, I know where you guys are coming from. So yeah, and now let's talk about the enemies. The enemies in this game are fair. They're fair. So you have, let's say, you have your regular ones with the gun and barely any armor, and then you have your juggernauts, which are the big guys loaded with the armor and a big gun. It's just they're outright overpowered. And then you have your bombers. They're basically like suicide bombers. They'll run up to you and they'll explode on you. And now the enemies also have uh like different tools to help them fight. Some enemies are more different from others because you also have the snipers, which are very annoying. You can know they sometimes hide in a building, and you have to go all the way up to the building to get to them. Or if you have a sniper, you can snipe them from there, however you like. But now let's move on to looting. Looting in this game is rewarding. You could also pick up loot wherever, like, because some loot in the game, since this game is open world, there's like loot everywhere. So you can pick up loot from a crate, or you can pick up loot from a dead body. It's crazy. You also get loot by completing missions or control points. I'll get into that shortly. Um, Also, the loot can actually help you with your by with your stuff. So let's say if I loot a 12% damage to armor for so so there's 12% damage to armor is basically where I get 12% amplified damage um for hitting opponents' armor. Now let's get into the missions and control points. The missions is obviously a mission where you get an objective and you have to complete that objective. The missions are pretty good. They feel good. I don't really have any complaints for the missions. For control points, there's different levels of control points. You have level 1, level 2, and level 3 and level 4. So level 1 is basically like normal, a normal control point. Level 2 is basically like a hard control point. The control point gets harder. And then level 3 is like a challenging control point. The control point is challenging. It's not that easy. And then you have number 4, which is your heroic control point. I always play on level 4. And the control point is pretty difficult if you don't have the right build, you don't have the right guns. But when you come in with the right stuff, it could significantly benefit you, because it's really hard to die if you have a good build in a level 4 control point. You know what I'm saying? Now getting on to apparel, your clothes. There's not I mean, there is options. There's definitely a lot of options. Like, as you can see, I'm rocking the laser glasses. I'm rocking uh the blue jean jacket, and then I'm also rocking the gray hoodie. I'm also rocking some like bootleg Nikes. But the apparel in this game is good. You can do a lot of different combinations of stuff, of different apparel items. For the apparel items, you have the shirts, you have the pants, you have the mask. The masks are really cool. Then you have your hoodies, you have your t-shirts, your sneakers, your pants. As you can see with my pants here, I have like a little skull chain. I'm also rocking I'm rocking some So like old school headphones. And then I also have a Rainbow Six patch. I actually never changed that. Rainbow Six is Rainbow Six Siege. I used to play it on this channel. Um, by the way, if anybody's wondering, I will not be returning to that game. Um, there's also like different gear pieces are great. Like if you just like combine them the right way. So now moving on into like the start of the game where you customize your character. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's not too many options for like different faces, different tattoos, or different hairstyles or different hair colors. Not that many options. If you want to get those type of options, go to Destiny. Jesus Christ. Um, but other than that, yeah, it's pretty good. You could also upgrade something called your watch. It's basically where you get to upgrade, like your damage, how much damage you do, how much armor you get, and all that type of stuff. Um, that concludes my game review. But I think my final verdict for Tom Clancy's The Division 2 will be a solid 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. It's not a perfect game, but it's good. It's good enough. Um, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'll see you later.